So Chris is here to talk about venture capital and early stage financing, and I don't know how visible he has been with his new role. This might be a little bit of a coming out party, maybe at least for my community.
A little bit.
And then it's an honor and a pleasure to have Chris here because when he was working on his MBA, he was working with me at Sherpa Partners. So it's been super rewarding and fun to watch Chris progress with his career, smart guy. And if you can get Royal Street Ventures involved with your deal, you're going to be far better off for doing that. So with that, I'll let Chris tell you about venture capital and early stage financing.
Thanks, Rick. I got to look at my watch because I may be the only one who actually worked for Rick, so I know he'll just pull me off the stage if I go over. I'm the first one at the podium who really represents investing other people's money in companies. So at a high level, the business model for venture capitalists is to go out and raise money from other people into a series of funds. In each fund, we're carefully investing that money and watching that money very closely in a very small number of companies. It's a little unusual for a single fund to invest in more than, say, 20 companies. So as you can guess, our investors typically want us to invest only in what we promised them we'd invest in. So most venture capitalists are pretty tight in terms of their description of what stage of investment will they invest in a company and what types of companies. For instance, at Royal Street, we invest in a lot of high growth, not very capital intensive digital businesses. But unfortunately for all the great medical companies in town, we don't invest in anything that touches the FDA. So as you're thinking about venture capital as a way to finance your business, there are lots of great ways to research specific funds as you get an idea of what your company looks like. We typically invest in companies as venture capitalists after there's a fair number of proof points in the market. The company has some proof of product market fit. Maybe the company and the founders don't quite know how to scale the company. And the other thing I would say is it's a little unusual for venture capitalists to invest in a company without a strong core management team. So if you're a passionate founder working alone and think eventually you want to get venture capital, I would encourage you to think about if you really want to grow a big company that can generate a big exit for venture capitalists, who are the other people who you might be able to sell early on to join your team? Because that is, for us and every other venture capitalist, really important.
Okay. And then Chris, before you leave, what's bite size for Royal Street?
Yeah, typical first checks are between $250,000 and $1 million for Royal Street seed and Series A investments.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Rick.